It's spring break in Ann Arbor for all the students, but there's no rest for the weary, and so Michigan basketball, with March looming less than 36 hours away, comes to the court at Crisler Center today, and the Wolverines still have plenty left to play for and a lot of work to do to lock down an NCAA tournament bid. That pursuit continues today in Ann Arbor with number 15, Illinois, coming to town. Hello and welcome to WCBN Sports coverage of Michigan men's basketball. Alongside Coley Hoving, I'm Jared Greenspan. These two teams last played January 14th in Champaign. The Wolverines did so undermanned without Hunter Dickinson. Today he is back, and all eyes will be on the two men in the middle, Dickinson and Kofi Coburn.
Yeah, obviously, Hunter Dickinson is having a terrific season. He's averaging 18 points, 8.2 rebounds, about 2.5 offensive to go with 2.5 assists and a block and a half. Coburn, on the other hand, isn't as dynamic, but he does pick up 21 points a game and 11 rebounds. He is a force down low, about 7 feet tall and near 300 pounds. We missed the matchup last time, but both of these big men were named first team All-Big Ten and second team All-American in 2021. So this will be a highly anticipated matchup.
Illini last took the court Thursday in Champaign against Ohio State. They dropped a hard-fought match, a furious late comeback falling short. The Wolverines begin game 2 of the Phil Martelli era this afternoon. Martelli, the acting head coach, won his first game Wednesday against the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. He's at the helm again today, with Juwan Howard continuing to serve his suspension that will last throughout the rest of the regular season for his role in the melee in Madison that occurred a week ago today.
Yeah, so Martelli picked up that win against Rutgers, leaning on his freshman Caleb Houston, who went for 21 points, was very efficient from three. We're going to look for similar production from Caleb Houston today. He's going to have a bit of a size advantage on most of these Illini guards.
Both teams are on the court right about now. Michigan in the maize. Illinois draped in the road orange. It'll be Hunter Dickinson and Kofi Coburn. Dickinson 7'1", 265. Coburn 7'1", 285 to tip it away.
Another matchup to watch here is Trent Frazier, number 1 in orange, and Eli Brooks of the Wolverines. Each of them are playing in their 152nd career game here. They're veteran guards, they're wily on defense, and they can both shoot the lights out from behind the arc.
Jones, Brooks, Houston, Diabate, Dickinson, the 5 for the Wolverines. Frazier, Grandison, Plummer, Williams, Coburn, the 5 for the Illini. Just waiting for CBS to give us the heads up right now. And away we go. The jump ball won by the Illini. Coburn to Frazier, and here we go. Trent Frazier right to left, handling up top with Jones. Gives way on the wing, Grandison moving left. Hands off for Plummer. He curls right, sets his feet, fires for 3 over Dickinson off the heel. Long rebound, Karams to Dickinson. Michigan pushing. Houston down the near side, drops it into the pocket for Diabate, facing Grandison. Lowers the shoulder across the lane, forces it up, off the heel, no good. Williams clears.
Diabate is one of those players who's going to have a big game. He was kind of absent against Wisconsin, but had a great game against Iowa.
Grandison down the alley, arcs up the running hook, left it short. Rebound, pinballs back to Grandison. Plummer at the wing, scoots by Houston, drops it off underneath for Coburn. Gathers, goes up, and lays it in. And the Illini crack the scoreboard first. 45 seconds in, Illinois up 2-0. Lowers the shoulder across the lane, forces it up. Diabate pushes left side for Houston. Giving the corner, Jones with Plummer. Underneath, Houston slips to the rack and lays it in with the left hand. And we're all tied at 2.
That was an important connection in the first game. Devontae Jones
short rebound, pinballs back to Grandison. Plummer at the wing, scoots by Houston, drops it off underneath for Coburn. Gathers, Frazier lines up a left wing 3 and cans it. Trent Frazier from downtown puts Illinois up 5-2. Jones working up top, kicks back right side. Dickinson lets the 3 fly. That rims out. He's missed his last 9 from deep. Williams clears. Plummer down the far side, works to the point, kicks left side. Williams drops it underneath for Coburn in the block. Lowers his shoulder with Dickinson. Across the lane, right-handed jump hook. Rolls off the rim. Dickinson clears.
Obviously, that's going to be the matchup to watch. Kofi has struggled against elite big men such as E.J. Liddell and Trace Jackson-Davis this year. So we'll see if Hunter can similarly neutralize him.
Diabate with Williams.
There's a foul underneath on Dickinson. He's going to head to the line for 2 shots. Dickinson is an 81.8% free throw shooter on the year. He is dangerous from the line as well as from behind the arc. It's that kind of dynamism that could give him an edge over Kofi Coburn today.
And so Dickinson to the stripe, an 82% free throw shooter. Makes good on the first. Illinois up 5-3, 18:03 left to play here in the first half.
We saw a little bit of pace pushing in those early possessions. Both teams were characteristically slow, trying to get out with an advantage in numbers on those possessions.
Second one good for Dickinson. Illinois up 5-4. Trent Frazier right to left down the middle working with Jones. Frazier angles right, give to the point for Plummer. Plummer left side Williams, feed on the wing Frazier. Thought about a 3, wraps around the screen, shut off baseline, back to Coburn underneath. Gathers in a crowd, lays it in.
That's what guys that big can do. Even when there's 3 people around him, he can go up strong to the basket and you're not going to affect his shot.
Diabate up top. Michigan trails by 3. Jones back to Dickinson. Side pocket Jay, you betcha.
He's been working on that a lot this season. That's a facet of his game that the Illini haven't seen from last year. So they're going to have to work hard to get doubles on him once he starts stretching the floor.
Williams to the point, kicks back right side Frazier. Plummer with Brooks. Pulls up off the bounce, launching a 3 and drains it. Alfonso Plummer. And the Illini up by 4.
He's a transfer from Utah who tested the NBA draft waters last year, decided to come to Illinois, play with some other elite guards, and he's been electric for them, averaging about 15 points a game.
And Diabate fouled on the entry feed underneath, bear hugged from behind by Williams. And so it'll be an inbounds upcoming for the Wolverines. Illinois up 10-6, 16:45 to play here in the first.
So that foul on DeMonte Williams, he's going to be a player to watch on the defensive end. He's just 6'3", but he's 215 pounds, and he'll be tasked with guarding some of the Wolverines' bigger players. He's great on the glass, averages over 4 rebounds a game.
Houston on the left wing off the inbounds feed, draped by Grandison. Give up top Brooks. Brooks around the Dickinson screen, gets downhill, pulls back, 18-footer. He's got it. Eli Brooks strains the mid-range J. Frazier curls left, pulls back. Give for Grandison, moving right. Hands off Plummer. Plummer around the screen with Houston at the point. Thought about a 3 and throws it away. Jones to steal. 1 man to beat left to right. Hop steps on Frazier. Layout won't go, but he's fouled.
Jones is such a crafty finisher. You saw him with that hop step, get into a position where he had a clean look and he was initiating contact. That's what Jones gives you on the fast break and also off the bounce in the half-court set. He's a very good dribble driver, and that's an element that Mike Smith provided the team last year, and Jones has filled in that role nicely.
Devontae Jones, 75% free throw shooter. Has 2 upcoming. Connects on the first. 1 more on the way for Jones.
Something to keep in mind is that Michigan and Illinois are 2 of the worst teams in the Big Ten in turnover margin. They do not take care of the ball, and they cannot generate steals. So which team is going to take advantage of the other sloppy play is going to be a big storyline.
That one's good for Jones, and we're tied at 10. 16:07 left in the first. Andre Curbelo zags right to left. Hands off Hawkins to Grandison. Grandison pulls back with Diabate, angles left, giving the left wing Frazier with Jones. Tracks to the point, moving right. Hands off Curbelo, wraps around a paint screen, curls left, down the alley, glides to the rack. Runner off the window is good. Andre Curbelo with the left hand puts the Illini up 12-10.
Curbelo's been a guy who's been having a tough season. He missed about 2 months with a concussion and neck injury suffered against Kansas State, but he is the reigning Big Ten Sixth Man of the Year, and he can go for buckets when he's hot. Michigan
down a pair. Coburn out of the game, so the ball finds Dickinson in the pocket. Leans into pain with the right shoulder. Curbelo brings 2. Kick up top. Jones tees up a 3. Off the heel, Dickinson foul line board. Quick outlet left side Brooks. Underneath for Diabate with Hawkins. Musa jab steps across the lane, running hook shot, no good. Dickinson the board, blocked and fouled by Hawkins. And that'll bring us to the under 16 timeout. 15:20 left here in the first. A back and forth affair to start. Illinois up 12-10. 4 minutes and 40 seconds gone by. So a strong start for both teams. Michigan holding its own against the 15th ranked team in the nation. 4 points for Dickinson to lead the way for Michigan. Trent Frazier has 3 for Illinois.
Yeah, the guard matchups are going to be important here. You got Frazier, you got Grandison, who's been very important, averaging about 10 points a game for the Illini. And he's playing about 26 minutes and shooting 41.4% from behind the arc. However, most of the Illini guards are about 6'1". Granderson provides size at 6'6". He's going to be a matchup for Houston and for Terrence Williams today. So we're going to see how Michigan uses its size. They're kind of pounding the paint there. Musa trying to get involved. Dickinson collecting a couple offensive rebounds. If they can keep dominating with their size, it's going to open up open threes for their shooters. So they just got to continue getting to the paint and pounding it in there.
A lot of what today's matchup may come down to is foul trouble between Dickinson and Coburn. Both big men have stayed clear of that so far. But that is certainly something to watch moving forward.
As much as those guys can be on the floor as possible for both coaches. They want to keep the offenses coming. They want to keep it working through those guys. They provide in and out opportunities. They draw double teams. And obviously they're the star players. They make everything go.
In that January matchup between these two teams in Champaign, it was a 15-point victory for Illinois. 68-53 the final. Was Michigan's first game back from the COVID-19 pause. The Wolverines played without Dickinson, without Brandon Johns. They battled, ultimately fell, overpowered at the end, but it was a game with about 5 minutes to go. Juwan Howard, after the game, really praised his team's effort, tenacity. Certainly, Howard's not here, but Phil Martelli would like to see those aspects correlate to today's game, even though it's a month apart.
And I think we're seeing some of the intensity. There's a lot of speed on the floor right now. There's a lot of moves being made. There's not a lot of slowing it down, pulling it back, going for one-on-ones. There's ball movement. This has been a great basketball game over these first 5 minutes.
12-10 the score, 15-17 left here in the first in Ann Arbor. A Sunday matinee between the Wolverines and the Illini. A game with crucial NCAA tournament implications. Michigan probably on the right side of the bubble right about now, but bubble could be popped any moment. They've got 4 regular season games remaining. 3 are at home, if we include today. 1 a daunting trip to Columbus, all 4 against very good teams.
And that just means 4 more opportunities for the Wolverines to shore up that resume. If they can take 2 of these next 4 and pick up a win in the Big Ten tournament, I think they're looking in the clear.
So Dickinson is at the line for a pair. He's 2 of 2 from the stripe tonight. And I jinx him as he short arms the first, so it remains 12-10 Illinois. One more upcoming for the 7-footer. And he knocks that down. 12-11 the score. All 5 starters out there for Michigan. Illinois has Trent Frazier, Andre Curbelo, Coleman Hawkins, Luke Goody, and Omar Payne. It's Curbelo on the right wing, give to the point Goody. Sloppy with the dribble, gives left side Frazier. Around the Payne screen, gets downhill, pulls up off the bounce. The deep 2, no good. Rebound, pinballs around on the right side. Still loose on the floor. Diabate diving for it and wrestles it away from Hawkins.
That's the type of energy that gives Musa his highly touted reputation. He's athletic, but he's also energetic. That's why he's projecting to be a first-round pick.
Michigan looking to take a lead here. Jones around the screen, curls left, drops it off for Dickinson. Soft hook, left it short. Rebound, pinballs right to Musa. Goes up and is fouled on the floor.
That was a beautiful play that led to that foul. Devontae driving the left side. Dickinson rolling perfectly in space. The pass was placed evenly between the Illini defenders, and it opened up Musa for interior positioning on that board.
A pair of strong rebounds on each end for Diabate. He'll take a seat for Kobe Buffkin, Michigan's first substitution of the game. Jones inbounding underneath the basket, kicks it left side for Buffkin, matched up with Hawkins. Buffkin drives, gets baseline, tried to force it underneath for Dickinson, and it's a steal for Illinois.
That's the type of mistakes we've seen from Buffkin, but he is gaining confidence, and Juwan Howard has been praising him lately for his play off the bench.
Hawkins on the left wing works to the point, give right side Frazier, hands off for Curbelo. Curbelo slips the screen, works his way to the pocket, now straddles the baseline and is fouled. A shove called on Eli Brooks. The fifth-year senior picks up his first.
That's where Curbelo's so good, working one-on-one, trying to drive the baseline, trying to split the defense. He's so quick and so athletic. It opens up opportunities for him to pass out. It also gets into trouble like that. Had he not been fouled, he probably would have ran straight out of bounds anyway.
And Kofi Coburn, after a brief spell on the bench, re-enters. The lob comes in right side Plummer, give left wing Hawkins, draped by Houston. Hawkins, left side Curbelo, splits the defense, loses the handle. On the floor with Dickinson. His pass deflected and out of bounds. Michigan touched it last. It'll stay this way. A bit of a hectic sequence underneath the basket there.
That's where Curbelo's shiftiness can get him into trouble. He thought he could slip between two defenders, and that space just wasn't there.
14:03 left in the first. Illinois up 12-11. Hawkins looking to inbound underneath the basket. Still searching. Gets it in right side. Goody left open for an 18-footer. The freshman off the heel. Rebound. Still loose. Coburn has it at the left block. He'll reset.
That was a good contest from Devontae Jones, throwing that shot off from Goody.
Curbelo hands off Plummer, pulls trigger on a deep three and buries it. Alfonso Plummer again. He went 8 for 10 from deep Thursday night, and he's unloading a pair. 2 of 3 from distance so far today. Jones on the left wing works his way to the point, now pulls back. Give left side Dickinson, pitches back for Jones. Around the screen, turns the corner. Over his shoulder, Dickinson catches in a crowd and misses the baby hook. Rebound Coburn.
Those are going to go down eventually. Devontae's been creating penetration, and Dickinson is all alone.
Plummer around the screen, moves left, takes a step back 2 off the bounce. Got it, and a foul. Alfonso Plummer percolating. He's got 8, and he'll have a chance to make it 9 as Kobe Buffkin clipped him on the way up.
Alfonso Plummer started the season really hot. He had a 6-game stretch in November and December. He scored over 20 in all of those. Kind of disappeared in the middle of the season. He struggled against Big Ten competition, but he definitely showed up in the Ohio State game with those 26 points.
So Plummer, an 89% free throw shooter, will have 1 here, and he cannot connect. Rebound Houston. Jones carries left to right down the far side, working with Plummer. Around a screen to the point, calls his own number off the bounce. 3-pointer, swishes home.
Beautiful stroke from Devontae there. He found his spot. He knew what he was doing. That was planned.
Ring that one up for Devontae Jones. Michigan draws within 3. 17-14, under 13 left in the first. Plummer off the bounce, fires up a right wing 3. Oh, man!
What an
Alfonso
answer.
Plummer again!
With the step back, and he's shooting arrows all over Crisler Center right now.
Illinois up 6, 2014. Jones at the point, knocks over Plummer. That's an offensive foul. Plummer doing it on both ends of the court. 3 on one end, comes back on the other and draws a charge.
His feet weren't necessarily set there, but he was squared up to the offensive player, and he took a shoulder right to the chest. The contact was initiated by the offense, but I think that could have gone either way.
So Illinois up 20-14. Michigan's got to be careful here to not let this one unravel. Brandon Johns into the game for the first time. Musa Diabate in as well. Coburn out there for Illinois, so Dickinson takes a seat. Frazier moves left, dancing with Jones. Pushes to the point. Plummer tries another off the curl. That one off to the left, and it caroms out of bounds.
That was a bit of a heat check for number 11 right there.
So he is human after all. That's good to know. 20-14, 12:30 left in the first. Michigan trails by 6. Jones up top, angles left. Hands off on the wing for Kobe Buffkin. Picks up his dribble, finds Diabate at the high post. Pivots to face the basket. Dribble handoff with Brooks. Curls left. Brooks, little flip shot for the elbow, and he knocks it in.
He led the defense away with his eyes there. He made them think he was going for an inside pass, and he opened himself up for the shot.
Williams down the left alley, sent back by Diabate, and Brooks flags it down in the near side corner. Michigan pushing. Brooks left to right, down the middle with Plummer. Give left side Jones. They feed Diabate in the pocket. Challenges Coburn, forces it up, won't go. Jones the tip in, yes.
Beautiful follow by Devontae. He's averaging 1.2 offensive rebounds a game. Great for a point guard, great for a player of his size, and he's showing you why right there. He's got the hops and he's got the drive.
Fire and desire on both ends for the Wolverines. They draw within 2. Frazier on the crossover, sidesteps through traffic, kicks right side Grandison, extra pass, Plummer, right corner 3. That one rattles in. Home court rim for the visiting Alfonso Plummer. He continues to scintillate. 14 now for Plummer, and he snaps Michigan's momentum. That one knocked out of bounds, last touch by Plummer. That'll bring us to the under 12 timeout. The action really picking up inside Crisler. 23-18, the Illini with the 5-point lead.
We've seen some beautiful dribble drives. Eli Brooks getting in there, faking out the defense with the look and getting the floater. Devontae has been all over the place. And on that last play, Trent Frazier had a beautiful crossover. He had an open lane, but he did the unselfish thing, the veteran move, passed it out and found his shooter Plummer in the corner.
Well, Michigan's got to find a way to slow down Alfonso Plummer. The Wolverines have been doing a great job of limiting three-pointers. Over the past handful of games, just a 30% rate of three-pointers allowed, but Plummer is on another planet. He was unconscious Thursday night, went 8 of 10 from beyond the arc, and he's normally a very good three-point shooter. Shoots it at a 41% clip. He's knocked down 82 three-pointers on the year. His favorite spot is that right wing, and he's known as a prolific shooter, but he is just on a tear right now, and the Wolverines have been powerless to stop him. He's 4 of 6 from 3, good for 14 points in just 7 minutes.
The Illini as a team are dangerous from 3. They average 9.3 three-pointers a game. That's 27th in the country and by far first in the Big Ten. But as you said, Michigan's greatest strength has been limiting the outside shot. They actually rank first in the Big Ten in three-point percentage allowed.
Yeah, Michigan, the game plan coming in almost certainly revolved around slowing down Kofi Coburn. And Michigan has done that. Coburn with just 4 points. Dickinson has held his own. He's got 5 of his own, just 1 of 4 from the field. But Coburn, Dickinson, the 2 fulcrums, that hasn't been the matchup. It's been Alfonso Plummer picking Michigan apart. You know Phil Martelli in that huddle is telling whoever's guarding him to not lose sight of him even as he's dancing around the perimeter.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Martelli is going to spread out his defense a little bit here to cover the perimeter where it's really been a problem. On the other hand, that does open up easy entry passes and dribble drives for people like Frazier and Grandison. However, I think you got to take that risk the way Plummer is shooting the ball.
Michigan's been doing a nice job generating offense on its own end with some balanced scoring. Dickinson with 5, Devontae Jones playing some excellent basketball with 7. Eli Brooks has 4, Caleb Houston has 2. 23-18 the score, Illinois up by 5. 11-17 left in the first. Michigan has never led, but it's played well. Illinois and the Wolverines, this is a bit of a rivalry stemming from last year. Some hostility, animosity between the two sides, and the two sides' fan bases more so over Michigan winning the Big Ten title, Illinois winning the Big Ten tournament title. Who is the real Big Ten champion?
These are different teams, though. Obviously, Illinois losing star guard and, emergent star with the Chicago Bulls, Ayo Dosunmu, as well as guard Adam Miller. Michigan losing Isaiah Livers and Franz Wagner, who's in the Rookie of the Year conversation as well, over with the Orlando Magic. But some of these players are very familiar with each other after a few years in the Big Ten.
Both teams on the floor right now. Michigan with Brooks and Collins in the backcourt, Houston at the 3, Johns at the 4, and Musa at the 5. It's Brooks handling up top with Frazier, pushes left side for Johns. Johns to the point for Diabate. He's scoreless so far this afternoon. Fakes the pass underneath, almost had Brooks. Still has it at the point, searching, 8 to shoot. Musa's got to make a move, drives right, challenges Coburn. Picks up his dribble, out for Collins with 5. Explodes down the left alley, arcs up a runner. Oh yeah, Frankie Collins bails out the Wolverines with a late shot clock bucket. And Michigan within 3.
That's Frankie's best move, going to the left side. Just working his dribble. He's got such quickness. No one can stop him when he's
Frazier
on.
downhill, whistles up top. Grandison from the point, unloads. 3 rattles in and out. There's Collins skying for the rebound. He'll look to push. Left to right on the near side. Finds Musa in the pocket. Grandison gets back, and Michigan resets. Collins on the wing. Jab steps on the crossover across the lane. Gets inside. Shovels it off for John. Side pocket. Jay rims out. Wide open, couldn't connect. Plummer clears. Illinois in a hurry. Frazier left side, Williams. As Coburn with Johns, can't get it to him for now. They'll reset. Frazier swinging around the arc. Grandison to Plummer on the right side with Collins. Plummer on a crossover, gets to the block, jump stop, pirouette, turnaround, off glass, won't go. Rebound, pinballs to Houston.
A little too strong there from Plummer.
Houston
Touch might be fading away.
Houston on the right side, slips the screen, pivots, give back for Musa, tries the elbow J, that was flat. Short-armed it off front iron, and Illinois clears. Frazier down the near side, Illini with the 3-point lead. Coburn up top, dribbling with the right hand, hands off Plummer. Plummer drives left, scoots down the alley, challenges Johns. The runner's short, but he's fouled. And so 2 more upcoming from the charity stripe for Alfonso Plummer.
Alfonso Plummer, he has shown us that he can put up points in a hurry. The closest comparison for the Wolverines is probably Caleb Houston. When he gets hot from 3 and he starts attacking the basket, we lose a little bit of his timidity. He can create these kind of opportunities. Right now, he's been very limited by the Illini defense. Let's see if they can get him more involved.
Plummer connects on the first free throw. He's an 89% free throw shooter, though he missed his first today. Hunter Dickinson re-enters right as Kofi Coburn sits. Brad Underwood counters with Coleman Hawkins. So ever since the opening minutes, Dickinson and Coburn have had their minutes staggered. Second free throw good for Plummer. Illinois up 5, 25-20. Plummer will take a seat, so Michigan at last gets a breather from him. The electric Andre Curbelo enters. Michigan with Collins, Brooks, Houston, Diabate, and Dickinson. All 4 starters, plus the freshman from Las Vegas. Collins handles up top of the block M, draped by Curbelo. Gives left side Houston, drops it into the pocket for Dickinson. Dickinson facing Hawkins, lowers the shoulder, back out Collins. Zigzags through the lane, lost the handle on the way up. And that's going to be an offensive foul as well. Grandison standing in to take the charge. It was going to be off Collins anyway.
That's something that happens with Collins a little too frequently. He doesn't go in with control. It's what gives him such dynamism, spinning around with the ball, but it can lead to those costly turnovers.
Illinois up 5. Coleman Hawkins handles at the point. The 6'10 sophomore center gives way for Trent Frazier. The super senior works his way to the pocket. Back for Hawkins on the right wing. Thought about a 3. Dancing with Dickinson. Tees up a step back 3 off the bounce and drills it. Coleman Hawkins, the 6'10 big man, flash in the stroke. And the Illini lead is ballooned to 8. Michigan looking to steady itself. Dickinson hands off back for Collins. Played tightly by Curbelo. Collins angles right as he moves on the wing, giving the pocket for Dickinson. Orders a clear out. He wants Hawkins one-on-one. Dickinson lowers the shoulder, doubled, cross-court feed, deflected. Last touch by Collins. It's out of bounds.
I'd like to see Dickinson get a little more into Hawkins there, use his strength and size advantage. Coleman Hawkins is a big player. He is a great player. He has more of a guard skill set, as he showed with that last 3.
So Dickinson, just 5 points, can't capitalize with Coburn off the bench. Frazier unloads a right wing 3 and buries it, and Phil Martelli's seen enough. The Illini are up 11. Martelli calls a timeout. It's an 8-0 scoring run for Illinois. And Michigan is in all sorts of trouble right now. 8:36 to play in the first half. The last time the Illini were on this court, they just totally ran Michigan out of the building. It was a blowout 76-53 victory for the Illini in last February. A top 5 matchup touted as one of the best games of the Big Ten. It did not deliver. Unless you are an Illini fan, then it certainly did. And
they're replicating that here.
I was to say, similar shades so far today. We'll see what Michigan counters with out of the timeout. Devontae Jones enters, Frankie Collins sits.
One thing to give us some hope as a Wolverine fan would be that Illinois is shooting 70% from 3. You got Hawkins making 1. You got Frazier splashing 2. They can't keep up that level of efficiency if Michigan finds a way to challenge those shots on the perimeter.
So Michigan looking to regroup, down 11. It's the largest deficit of the game. Trying to snap an 8-0 Illinois run. Jones on the right wing, give right side Houston. Entry feed on a pop, goes to Dickinson. Dickinson doubled from the weak side, trying to fight his way out of it. Give right wing Jones, back to Dickinson it goes. Dickinson with Hawkins and 8 to shoot. Across the lane, lumbers, kick, Jones corner, swing, Houston. Left wing 3, how's that for a streak snapper? Caleb Houston, ring it up And Michigan with an 8.
You saw him in perfect position, hands and feet ready for that pass. That's where Houston's at his best, spotting up.
First 3 of the day for Houston. Curbelo up top, Hawkins handles at the point, cuts back down the right alley, shut off nicely by Dickinson. Back for Curbelo. 11 to shoot for Illinois. Curbelo curls left, takes it all the way, strip. Last touch by Curbelo. It's off his knee and out of bounds.
Excellent play by number 55, Eli Brooks there. Active hands, and definitely knowing that he has Dickinson behind them gives him the opportunity to take that risk.
And that'll take us to the under 8 timeout. 7:48 left in the first. Illinois up 31-23. Michigan weathered the storm out of that timeout just as Phil Martelli would have liked. Caleb Houston a 3 on one end, then they forced a turnover on the other. That was on the heels of an 8-0 Illini run. So Michigan not letting this thing unravel yet against the 15th ranked team in the country. This would be a huge one for Michigan's NCAA tournament resume if the Wolverines can pick it up today.
Absolutely, absolutely. And Michigan doesn't look overmatched here. Part of it is Illinois has been shooting the ball very, very efficiently. The defense has actually been there for the Wolverines. They're active, they're popping out. Sometimes guys get hot. It's wearing off for Plummer. Hopefully they come back to earth. And in that case, Michigan is playing very well to be only down 8. Their offense is clicking. They've been getting opportunities. They're actually shooting a little worse than you'd expect based on the looks they've been getting. So I think Michigan has been executing the right game plan. It's just a matter of getting shots to fall and maybe getting a little out a little sooner on guys like Plummer.
And if you're Michigan, I think the point of emphasis has to be getting Hunter Dickinson active and finding ways to get the big fella on the scoreboard. It's just really been flummoxed so far. 5 points, 1 of 4 from the field. Shades of last year, Hunter Dickinson, when he struggled with double teams. He's been doubled twice in the near side corner. One has led to a turnover, the other to a late shot clock possession. He's really been depth this year at handling those double teams. That's not the case so far today, though, and the Wolverines have to find a remedy if they're going to win this game.
The good thing about that is that even when Dickinson's flustered, he has such natural ability as a passer and such good floor vision that he's finding ways to make plays. Even if he can't get on the scoreboard with those double teams, he's going to find a way to create opportunities for his teammates. We're already seeing a little bit of that with those swing passes across the court.
If you're just joining us, 7:47 left in the first in this Sunday matinee between the Wolverines and the 15th ranked Fighting Illini. Illinois with the early 31-23 lead on the backs of Alfonso Plummer, who has 16. He's made 4 3-pointers already. Balanced scoring effort for the Wolverines. Devontae Jones leads the way with 7.
Yeah, Devontae early in the game was really attacking the paint, really getting to the rim. I'd like to see him do that again. Obviously, getting the ball to Dickinson is important, but with the success that Devontae was having, the success that Eli was having, getting to the rim, I think they got to think about getting the paint cleared and getting the guards to the bucket.
Both teams are at their timeout huddles now. Michigan, all 5 starters clad in that all maize. Illinois in the all orange. It's Goody, Curbelo, Coburn, Frazier, and Hawkins. So a big lineup with Hawkins at 6'10", and Coburn, of course, 7'1", 285. It'll be Michigan ball on the other side of the timeout following the Curbelo turnover. Devontae Jones left to right down the middle. It's spring break here in Ann Arbor, but a very sizable crowd on hand. Limited student section, but everyone else has shown out. Houston on the right wing working with Goody. Searching, puts it on the deck, feeds Dickinson on the right side, flips right back to Houston. Curls around the screen in the pocket, pulls up off the bounce for 2, and sticks it. That's not something we see a lot from Caleb Houston, an off-the-bounce 2-pointer, but he gets the job done.
I think that he has been feeling himself lately, and if he has confidence, that's good for the Wolverines.
Michigan down 6. It's a midi 5-0 run. Coburn at the elbow, lowers his shoulder, pounding inside on Dickinson, forces it up and banks it in.
That's a classic big-on-big matchup.
That
There's
is
not much Dickinson can do about that raw strength.
That's 285, powering 260 right there with Kofi Coburn. The sheer muscle getting to the rack. Brooks curls right, arcs it over his shoulder for Dickinson. Lumbers left, straight by Coburn. Hands off Houston. Sloppy on the handoff. Gets it back at the block end with 10 to shoot. Houston around the screen, turns the corner, works the baseline, wraps it around, looking for Diabate, who was jetting inside, vacated the corner spot, and it's a turnover.
Miscommunication there.
The two freshmen talking it over afterwards. So right back to Illinois it goes. 33-25, the Illini in front. Trent Frazier hops across down the far side, flips to the point for Andre Curbelo. Pushes left side for Goody. Goody back to Frazier. Frazier pocket feed Coburn, rumbles inside, kicks right side Curbelo, swing for Hawkins in the corner. Fakes, gets by Diabate, kicks it out. Frazier, swing it, Goody, right side Curbelo. Great ball movement. Curbelo fires, air mails the three, falls right to Hawkins inside, and he turns it over. Houston the steal.
That was a great offensive possession, great ball movement. It's a little unfortunate that Curbelo, a 20% shooter, ended up with that last shot.
Houston tries another two off the bounce on the right side, and he's fouled by Goody, who was incredulous. Did not think he clipped him. Nonetheless, 2 free throws upcoming for Caleb Houston.
I love the aggressiveness from number 22 here. Caleb Houston is showing us why he was a 5-star recruit, why the scouts love him for the NBA. When he's aggressive, it's hard to guard a guy who's that fast with that much silky movement. He can cross over, he can get around you, he can drive the baseline, and still pull up for the shots.
76% free throw shooter makes good on the first. Brandon Johns enters the game for Moussa Diabate. Alfonso Plummer, who has the hot hand so far today, enters for Luke Goody. One more upcoming for Houston. He's been playing well this afternoon with 8 already. Make that 9.
You'd love to see him get on a little bit of an extended hot streak, keep his momentum going from the last game where he was lights out against Rutgers.
33-27, 6 to play in the first. Illinois up by 6. Frazier downhill down the left alley, arcs up a tough runner at a tough angle, doesn't go. Coburn right there to clean up the mess. 35-27, Coburn had the smaller Jones on him, makes him pay. Jones zigzags to the foul line, back to Dickinson, straight on 3, off the heel. And play on underneath. Coburn clears, 3-on-2. Curbelo pitches left side. Plummer, the man of the hour, hits again. Alfonso Plummer rings that one up. He's got 5 3-pointers, 19 points, and Illinois has stretched the lead to 9. Kofi Coburn slapping the floor on the other end.
Great recognition by the Illini there. There were bodies on the floor, and they got out in transition.
Houston darting baseline finds Dickinson underneath, who's fouled. He'll head to the line for a pair, but the Illini feeling themselves. A transition 3 and a pair of floor slaps, and the lead is back to 9.
They're definitely bringing a little bit of a swagger right now. They're up 11, and they've earned it. They have been playing very clean basketball with very few exceptions.
Just 3 turnovers for Illinois as Dickinson too strong in the first. Illinois 67% from beyond the arc and 56% from the field overall. One more upcoming for Dickinson, and he knocks that one down. So Dickinson splits a pair from the line, drawing Michigan with intent, 38-28. 5:18 and rolling left here in the first.
You'd love to get a stop here. You'd love to get some momentum going in these last 5 minutes. You can't let the game get away from you here.
Frazier on the left side, spins off a Coburn screen, pulls up for a deep 2 off the bounce, and buries it. Trent Frazier in his element. He's got 8 and the lead up to 12. That's the biggest of the game.
Frazier looks absolutely in rhythm. So does Plummer. They're not making them uncomfortable enough. You might want to start thinking about making it uncomfortable, contacting them, getting in your face.
Houston on the left side working with Curbelo around a high screen from Dickinson. Feeds Dickinson on the roll. Stop and pop. Jumper sputters out. Rebound Curbelo. Illinois looking to extend the lead. Curbelo right to left on the far side. Picked up in the half court by Houston. Around the screen. Swivels around another. Back around another hedge. And that was a carry. One too many screens. And Andre Curbelo whistled for the transgression. 4th turnover of the game for the Illinois. Ball back to Michigan.
It was a good idea. That was 3 screens in a row. That was making it really tough for the Michigan defense to adjust.
Making me a little dizzy. I could only imagine the defenders.
It eventually was going to open up a shot. Curbelo's just got to be a little more careful with his handle there.
Michigan down by 12. Jones curls right down the alley. Challenges Curbelo. The runner won't go. Hawkins clears. Can be a 5-on-4 here. Curbelo left side. Frazier circles under it. Across the lane. Pitch right side. Hawkins open. Look for 3. Line drive shot won't go. And it caroms over the backboard and out of bounds.
Illinois has been pushing the pace a little more than they like to. But obviously they've seen something in the Wolverines transition game. And obviously when you've got a guy, Devontae Jones, on the floor back there, you want to push it ahead. But Illinois' pace has been a problem for Michigan so far.
40 points for Illinois. We're not even at the under 4 timeout. Michigan held the Illini to just 68 in the first matchup back on January the 14th. Jones left to right across the far side, gets a high screen from Houston, moves left, turns the corner, rapid around. Dickinson with Coburn, lowers the shoulder, arcs up the hook shot, and drops it in. There's the vintage Hunter Dickinson, and Michigan draws within 10, under 4 to play in the first. Frazier on the right side with Jones around a Coburn screen, gets downhill, kicks back right side. Plummer, they left him open again, and that one rattles out. Dickinson clears, Michigan pushing. Jones, right side, Houston, one man to beat, goes at Frazier, slips inside and lays it in.
Beautiful move there, using his length to get around the defender and get to the bucket.
Michigan with an 8, Crisler getting loud again. Trent Frazier orchestrating up shot for the Illini. 3:30 left in the first. Frazier pushes right side, Grandison with Houston. Grandison to the point for Plummer, guarded by Brooks. Left side, Hawkins. Hawkins back to Plummer. Shot clock down to 10. Frazier on the right side, played by Jones. Around the screen, kicks back right side, Hawkins. Hawkins fakes, Hawkins drives, sidesteps, looks like he got away with the travel. Bank shot won't go, but he throws down the follow. Coleman Hawkins.
Oh my goodness, Coleman Hawkins is the guy who scored 1 point with 1 rebound, 1 assist, 1 steal, and 1 block, and 1 turnover in the first game. Well, he's been much more of a presence today.
Dickinson underneath, soft touch won't go, rebound, pinballs to Frazier. Frazier right to left, jets down the near side, played by Brooks. Calls off the Coburn screen, shakes Brooks himself. Now resets, drops it underneath for Coburn. Here we go, one-on-one. Coburn banging with Dickinson, spins, goes up, sent back by Dickinson.
Great block by Dickinson.
Quick outlet, Houston up the left side, pitches back for Jones. Thought about a 3, thought better of it. Now pulls back on the arc. Now tees up his own number again, and that one's off to the right. Rebound, Grandison. Michigan down 10, 42-32, with 2:20 and rolling left here in the first half. We're still waiting for the under 4 timeout. That'll happen at the next whistle. Frazier up top, working with Brooks on the crossover, curls right behind the Coburn screen, gives to the point for Grandison. Grandison angles left, hands off Hawkins. Hawkins works Johns across the lane, forces it out, won't go. Rebound, tip to Dickinson. Nice defense from Brandon Johns. Jones pushing on the far side, slips the screen, zigzags through traffic all the way to the cup, and that's a goaltend from Hawkins coming over on the weak side.
That's what I love to see Devontae doing right there. The possession before, they had a little momentum after the Dickinson block, and Devontae decided to pull up for an in-rhythm 3. It's not a bad shot, but you'd like to see him get to the rim where he's uber efficient, and he did that there.
Tremendous pace to this game unfolding. Michigan just trying to keep up with the Illini's scintillating offense. Illinois shooting 50% from the field, 57% from 3. That's a big reason why they have an 8-point lead here with 1:58 to play in the first at the under 4 timeout. Michigan paced by Caleb Houston. He's got 11. Jones with 9. Dickinson with 8.
And those are the 3 guys that we have to watch. But don't forget about Eli Brooks. Eli Brooks has been playing some good defense. He's been burned a couple times, but you got to assume they're going to get him back in the game. He doesn't have a 3-point attempt so far. The team only has 6. If they're going to close this gap here, they're going to have to start getting it to Eli, seeing what he can do on the outside.
The man of the hour so far today, Alfonso Plummer. He's got 19 points, 5 3-pointers. Trent Frazier tripping in 8. Coburn has 8 points, but it's a quiet 8 points because of how terrific Plummer has been for Illinois.
Coburn has been a solid defensive presence more than anything, and also he draws a lot of defensive attention. But Dickinson, with the one-on-ones, has been holding his own. And when they can get Dickinson one-on-one and holding his own, then they can devote more resources to guarding Alfonso Plummer and Trent Frazier, who are absolutely lighting it up here.
So 42-34 the score. If you're just joining us, you have missed a barn burner, an entertaining affair between these two teams. Number 15, Illinois, being put to the test by Michigan, a Michigan team desperate for an NCAA tournament boosting win, down by 8 with 1:58 to play in the first. But they've held their own so far tonight, haven't let this game get out of control. The lead has ballooned to as many as 12. Michigan has never led. They certainly have their work cut out for them if they're going to try and come back in this one.
Absolutely. For a team that has been, you look at the scoreboard, you look at the fact that they never led, you think they're being dominated. And no, they've been very competitive on a possession-to-possession basis. They've had their opportunities that they've missed, specifically with some Dickinson opportunities under the basket. And obviously, Illinois' efficiency is off the charts right now. if those start to come back together, revert to the mean, this game is going to tighten up.
Illinois up by 8, 42-34. After this, Michigan hosts Michigan State Tuesday evening. That's a rescheduled game, one that was originally meant to take place in January, but postponed due to a COVID outbreak within the Wolverines program. Then Michigan hosts Iowa senior night on Thursday before wrapping up the regular season in Columbus next Sunday.
And all those games are very important for the Big Ten standings heading into the tournament. Illinois is sitting at 12-5, Iowa 10-7, Michigan State 10-7. Obviously, the Wolverines are 9-7, sitting just behind them. At this point, we have no idea what's going to happen as far as seeding goes. Michigan could be anywhere between the 3 seed, really, all the way down to the 9.
Yeah, the very convoluted, compact standings right now in the Big Ten, and there's not much room left to separate, with all teams, besides these two, having 3 games remaining on their schedule. So one game could make all the difference. Maybe that's today's game. Out of the under 4-minute timeout, 1:58 to play in the first half. Illinois with the 8-point lead, 42-34. It's Illini basketball. Trent Frazier will take it right to left. He's picked up in the backcourt by Devontae Jones. Frazier straight across down the middle, handling with the left hand, now alternating left to right, dribbles at the block M. Directing traffic, Jones in a stance. Frazier moves left, given the left side. Williams, played by Bufkin, the freshman. Give to the point, Grandison, draped by Brooks. Shot clock already down to 8. Plummer catches on the right wing. He's with Diabate. Plummer drives, pulls back. Thought about a 3, got Diabate in the air, and that's a foul.
That's a type of foul that you've seen them try to get rid of. But in that case, Musa was all over him. He was up in the air and clearly landed in his shooting motion. Although Plummer did hold off until Musa was already on top of him.
It's a 6'11" Diabate who has struggled at times this year with his perimeter defense, just being too overzealous. And so 3 free throws forthcoming for Plummer, an 89% free throw shooter, and he rattles out the first one.
That was a little bit of a mismatch. Although you do like Musa's length against Plummer, you know that Plummer can blow by Musa, and he had to be aware of that, which made him, his recovery there was a little hectic.
Plummer arcs the second one up and in, and the third. So it's a 2-point possession for Illinois. Illini up 44-34. Late whistle here will allow for a substitution. Kofi Coburn rests for Omar Payne, the Florida transfer. 92 seconds left in the first half. Michigan looking to narrow the deficit a little more before halftime. Down by 10. Jones shut off on the baseline, lobs underneath. Musa gathers, goes up, and throws it down. Two-handed slam for Musa Diabate. Quick bucket for the Wolverines.
Excellent patience and work with the basketball by Musa there. He knew he could get inside, and he didn't.
Plummer at the other end curls all the way through traffic and lays it in with the left hand. A quick answer for the Illini. Back up 10. 65 seconds left here in the first half. Jones plays catch with Bufkin, turns the corner, shut off baseline. They ran the same play, got it to Diabate again, same result. He lays in the finger roll.
Excellent work. He's finding the open spot on both those plays, and he's not being too aggressive, not trying to go for the foul, actually trying to put the ball in.
Well, Michigan ran the same exact play on the offensive end, both possessions, and they had Musa Diabate mismatched against Andre Curbelo underneath. That's 6'11". Diabate on a much shorter Curbelo, and that's too easy.
I'd say they do that every time. I'm not sure why they didn't go to it.
Well, I think Brad Underwood just recognized it, and he ordered Trent Frazier to call a timeout with 48.7 ticks left in the first half. Michigan trails by 8, 46-38 the score. Wolverines' offense has come to life. They've made 5 of their last 7 from the field after sputtering and cratering into a 12-point hole. They're playing their way out of it ever so slowly. Certainly a lot to digest during halftime for Phil Martelli and company.
It's been terrific play outside and inside on the offensive end. Defensively, they're creating a little too much space for the Wolverines to handle. If they can close out a little earlier, if they can get in more passing lanes, it's going to be harder. But that definitely is tough to do with this quick and athletic Illinois team.
Both teams out of the huddles. Illinois will inbound in the front court via Jacob Grandison. The Illini stake to an 8-point lead with 48.7 seconds left in the first. Grandison will inbound. Diabate guards the inbounds pass, gets it into the point for Frazier, wraps around a high screen, curls right, draws a switch onto Diabate. Gets a high screen from Coburn, curls right, now another switch with Johns. He'll backpedal high on the right wing, dancing, now drives left across the lane. The runner with the left won't go. Coburn tips it up and over the backboard, and it'll go back to Michigan with 34.6 seconds left in the first.
I was interested in what they were going to do there. Obviously, they're going for the 2-for-1, getting the shot off before the 30-second mark so they get the ball back. I don't think they wanted to give Michigan a chance to get back in this game, but now Michigan can hold for what amounts to the last shot, try to go in there with a 6.5-point deficit.
4.6 second differential shot clock and game clock. A 6-point or 5-point deficit would certainly be an admirable situation for the Wolverines to be in, having trailed the entire half and trailed by as many as 12. Jones handles up top. He looks back at Howard Isley, who barks out orders from the sideline.
Let's see if Devontae can get cooking, go to the right side, maybe try to find one of the big men underneath or one of the shooters in the corner.
Jones up top with 10 to shoot, handling at the block M, guarded by Corbello. Curls right after the Houston screen, tries to turn the corner, is shut off at the elbow. Back across the lane, down the left side, forces up the runner. It's an air ball. Pinballs around to Williams. 5 for Illinois. Frazier pushing down the middle with 3. Frazier jets down the left alley with 1, all the way to the rack. The layup won't go. And a frenetic end to what was a frantic first half. Illinois will head into the locker room up by 8, 46-38. A wire-to-wire first half for the Illini, who led by as many as 12. Michigan's got some work to do and some stuff to go over if they want to come back in this one.
Absolutely, absolutely. It starts with getting more opportunities for their three-point shooters. Eli Brooks and Caleb Houston need to be more involved. They only had 6 shots from outside, but you also need to get it to Dickinson and utilize his passing abilities out of the post.
So 46-38 the score inside the Crisler Center for a Sunday matinee between Illinois and Michigan. Thanks for tuning into WCBN Sports coverage so far. We're going to take about a 12-minute break or so and be back for the second half. For Coley Hoving, I'm Jared Greenspan. I'll be joined by Ryan Dolson for second half coverage. Don't touch that mouse. Again, we'll be back in about 12 minutes or so for what is shaping up to be an exhilarating finish. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Crisler Center, where Michigan trails Illinois by 8, 46-38 the score at halftime. Both teams are on the floor warming up. We've got 20 more minutes of exciting, exhilarating basketball on tap between two teams jockeying for position and NCAA tournament spots in the upcoming tournament, with Selection Sunday just 2 weeks from today.
Yeah, right around the corner.
And so the Wolverines certainly have dug themselves a bit of a hole, trailed by as many as 12, trailed wire to wire in that first half. They're down 8 points of emphasis. Caleb Houston played very well. Hunter Dickinson not so much, shot just 2 of 8 from the field. Good for 8 points and 8 rebounds, neutralized by Kofi Coburn. Alfonso Plummer, the star of the show for Illinois, and in the first half at large with 23 points and 5 3-pointers.
Oh yeah, of course, Michigan basketball starting to play Pump It Up, absolute classic. This should be a real exciting half. Illinois had a lot of chances to pull away, I think, in a bit uglier fashion, but excuse me, Michigan stayed in there. Like you said, Hunter Dickinson, they've had a really good response for him. They're really stopping him from scoring under the hoop, He's only got 8 points, though. He's still playing solid, but, I think Michigan is used to him playing a little bit more. Thankfully, only an 8-point game. I think it's going to be key for Michigan to really lock down those 3-point shooters, because that first half, Illinois was absolutely killing them on them. They've made like 8 of them already.
Michigan loitering a little longer in its huddle. Phil Martelli breaks it just now. All 5 Wolverines on the floor right now. Devontae Jones, Eli Brooks, Caleb Houston, Musa Diabate, and Hunter Dickinson. Second half action here in Ann Arbor. Alongside Ryan Dolson, I'm Jared Greenspan. We are ready to go to bring you the final 20 minutes of action here.
Absolutely excited. I cannot wait.
Jones carries right to left for the Wolverines, wearing the all-maize. Gets a Dickinson screen, moves left, and a whistle and a foul is going to go. I'm not sure who it was on.
It's a little early, 6 seconds into the half.
And it was on Jacob Grandison, away from the ball. On the right side, trying to restrain Caleb Houston. Inbound floats into the point for Musa Diabate. Handling at the high post, looking for a guard, gets it to Brooks high on the right side around the Frazier screen. Brooks up top for Dickinson. Dickinson lumbers right high-low, and he overshot Diabate. It sails out of bounds.
A little too much juice on that throw. Tragically, hate to see it, but mistakes like that can happen.
A turnover to start the half for the Wolverines. First possession coming up for Illinois. Trent Frazier hops left to right, pushes right side Plummer. Give up top for Grandison, swings left side Frazier. Played by Jones around the Coburn screen, downhill, pocket feed Coburn, rolling to the rack, and he lays it in. So Kofi Coburn, nimble at 7'1", puts Illinois back up 10.
He is a tall man. He is very large, very big.
He's one of those guys where he's big, and then you look at him and he just looks bigger as Jones gets to the foul line, and the flip shot won't go. Fought for the rebound, but tipped it out of bounds. Jones contesting the call. He won't win it, and it's going back to Illinois up 10, 19-10, remaining here in this ball game.
38-48. Illinois came into the half up by 8.
Trent Frazier pushes right side Plummer. Same movement as the last play. Grandison swings left side for Frazier, draped by Jones. Frazier downhill, gets Jones on his back, picks up his dribble, feeds underneath Coburn, spinning with the left-handed hook, and he drops it in. Nice soft touch off the front of the rim and in for Kofi Coburn.
Coburn is really making a huge difference. He's getting a lot of those up-close points. And like you said, he's so big, and you just seeing him in person, you just realize, especially compared to someone like Dickinson, he's just massive.
Houston up top, thought about a 3, moves right, gives in the pocket for Dickinson, facing Coburn. Dickinson lowers his shoulder across the lane, left-handed hook, rims off. Rebound Grandison. Michigan, 3 empty trips to begin the second half. 90 seconds gone by. Frazier up top, moves left with Diabate underneath. Dickinson couldn't get a hand on it. Coburn reloads, gathers, goes up strong. Won't go, but he's fouled. Kofi Coburn, just a load to handle underneath. He had a quiet 8 points in the first half. Brad Underwood clearly told his team, go to Coburn in the second half, because he's been everything so far.
This half has been one name. It is Kofi Coburn. This man has been responsible for every play. He has been a very solid response for Hunter Dickinson.
And the two centers, of course, didn't meet in January. Dickinson sidelined due to a bout with COVID, as Coburn, the 65% free throw shooter, misses the first. They played last year during the meeting, and then Dickinson was really stymied. Just 6 points and 5 boards. Coburn completely wiped him out of the game plan. Similar game arc unfolding so far today. Still a lot of time, though, to change that. One more for Coburn, and that sputters out. An empty trip from the foul line for the junior from Jamaica.
It can certainly be hard, a big man like that. Historically never the best at free throws.
Jones is fouled up the right wing. So Jacob Grandison has picked up 2 quick fouls to begin the second half.
Not ideal. It currently does not have any points on the board so far, and getting 2 fouls like that. He's really important for this Illinois team.
Houston pitches back for Jones, moves left, tries to turn the corner, works the baseline, and does. He slips in the layup. So Michigan has its first bucket of the second half. It's a 10-point game.
Beautifully played there, gotta say.
Grandison angles left, flips on the left wing for DeMonte Williams. Works his way to the block M, feeds Coburn underneath, across the lane, left-handed hook. He got it to go. And Kofi Coburn is just bullying Hunter Dickinson right now.
Yet again, sheesh. It's not been an easy half for Hunter. Not an easy game, really, for Hunter, I gotta say.
Illinois up by 12. There's a 3 on the left wing for Jones. It pops out. Coburn the board. He's got 6 points already in this second half, and he missed 2 free throws as well. Frazier handling at the block M. He's shadowed by Eli Brooks. Angles right, now gives to the point for Plummer with Jones. Flips left side to DeMonte Williams with Houston. Given the left side, Frazier, shadowed by Brooks. Frazier works the baseline, pocket feed Coburn. Here he comes. Stripped, loose ball. Brooks skies to grab it and is fouled by Frazier.
Very interesting what happened there. The ball just flew out of his hands. Felt like it was up in the air for an eternity.
And you saw with Coburn rumbling across the lane, 3 Wolverines swarmed him, so they're bringing Dickinson some help, which might be necessary the rest of the way.
Yeah, Kofi has certainly seemed like a cheat code this half. You know, he is a big man, and he's making some big plays.
17:07 and rolling left in the second half. Jones right to left down the far side. Turns the corner, lobs it up. Diabate comes down with it, pivots, lefty hook is good.
Beautiful pass, beautiful grab, beautiful shot. Love to see it. Michigan down by 10.
16:50 left in the second half. Frazier up top, kicks back right side, Grandison. Grandison goes behind his back, working with Diabate. Cross-court feed Williams, jets baseline, got a step on Houston and lays it in with the left hand. Illinois back up 12. Jones looking for an answer down the far side. Around the screen, turns the corner. Up top, Dickinson wide open for 3. And there we go. Hunter Dickinson had missed his last 10 threes, but he can ring that one up. And Michigan draws within 9.
Michigan absolutely needed that. Like I said before the half started, Illinois has absolutely been killing on 3-pointers. That was Michigan's 3rd 3er of the day.
Plummer swivels, turns the corner, and is fouled. There was a log jam at the elbow with Coburn setting a screen. Brooks trying to fight his way through it. He is down right now in a squat. Add insult to injury, Brooks was whistled for the foul.
Oh. I think that 3 is going to be really big if Michigan wants to get back into this game. I think you need a big momentum shift. Hopefully, you know, you can stop Illinois here on this drive. Because so far this half, you know, every single time Michigan has gotten something on offense, the Illinois offense has driven back and had an immediate response.
Brooks will take a seat. Kobe Buffkin, first man off the bench for Michigan. Coleman Hawkins and Omar Payne into the game for Illinois. Coburn on the bench. Inbound comes in far side corner for Frazier. Up top, Plummer off the curl, got caught in the air. Gives back right side Hawkins, fires back to Plummer. Draped by Buffkin, gets it away left side Frazier. Shot clock at 10. Frazier drives, pulls back. Deep 2 off the bounce, off the heel. Dickinson skies for the rebound and is fouled from behind by Payne.
Some really poor passes by Illinois there. You know, they almost turned it over for a second, and, you know, some low passes, especially to guys who could have had some decent-looking shots.
And so you look at this with the next whistle being the under-16 timeout. This is a time for Michigan to make up ground. Down 9, Kofi Coburn on the bench. See if they can go to Dickinson. He gets the ball on the left side, turns, goes up, and throws it down. A rim rocker and a stare for Hunter Dickinson. He's got 5 straight for the Wolverines. It's a 7-point game.
Just shows how important Hunter is to this team. He's getting some big points, and this whole stadium is waking up.
Right on cue for the big fella. Williams up top, hands off Hawkins, moving left, back door for Frazier, cuts to the rack, wrap around feet in the corner, Plummer. Plummer with 10, draped by Buffkin, attacks off the bounce, loses the handle, gets it back, tosses right side Williams. Williams with Houston 5 to shoot. Williams across the lane, fade, turnaround fade, left is short. Jones the board. Michigan pushing. Jones hurries, right side Houston. Houston for 3. It's an air ball. I think that would have brought the house down.
Yeah, tragically it was not meant to be. I think he got a little overly excited there. Happens to the best of us. But
way too much oomph on that one.
Apologies. That would have been a big 3, especially after a perfectly played defensive series by Michigan there. They did everything right. They did not let Illinois get a single good look.
And you sense the momentum starting to shift. You sense this building starting to really get into it. Under 16 timeout is where we're at right now. 15-11 left in the second half. Illinois up 7. It was an 8-point lead at the half. Hunter Dickinson starting to awake. He's been very quiet tonight, but has 5 points, the last 5 points for the Wolverines, including a 3-pointer and a vicious dunk.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That 3-pointer, that's like about as open as I think is humanly possible. There was no Illinois man within a mile of him.
And that's how Michigan and Dickinson can attack Coburn. He is limited on the perimeter. You know, he's that big. Certainly has its benefits on the basketball court, has its drawbacks also. Dickinson with that pick and pop game wasn't able to hit the shots in the first half. If he can hit them now, that flips the script a little bit.
Yeah, certainly. I think Michigan, bit of a slow start to come to the half. I think Illinois had a really great chance to make something happen, but they really couldn't, and Michigan is taking control as a result.
54-47 the score. Illinois with the lead. Michigan perhaps though with the momentum. We'll see what happens coming out of the timeout, and we'll see who's on the court. Brad Underwood pulled Kofi Coburn early, just like he did in the first half. If Coburn's not out there again after this timeout, it's again a time where you can go right to Dickinson. May not be able to beat Coburn one-on-one down low. He can handle Coleman Hawkins. He can handle Omar Payne. So we'll see what Phil Martelli and company draws up if that's the case.
For sure, yeah. You know, you see who really comes out is really, I think, going to determine the next few minutes of the half, I suppose. Could really determine the rest of the game, I think. You know, Michigan, you know, if Kofi stays out, Michigan keeps some great players in. If they can get some points here, it can really make a difference in the long run.
54-47, Illinois on top.
15 minutes, 11 seconds left in the half.
Dickinson with 13 from Michigan. He shot just 4 of 11 from the field. That air ball of 3 from Caleb Houston was actually his first miss of the afternoon. He's been playing very well. Was a perfect 4-4 from the field before that.
Yeah, wow, that is right. It was not the best shot in the world, but sometimes I think you just got to take those, you know? Michigan currently 3 for 9 on 3-pointers, and what's really confusing me, for the first half of the first 10 minutes, Illinois was really just knocking down 3 after 3 after 3, and since then it's like they really haven't even attempted that many. They started out like, I want to say 8 for 10 or something like that. Since then they've gone 8 for 14.
Both teams back on the floor out of the timeout. Kofi Coburn is in, as is Hunter Dickinson. Illinois basketball, Andre Curbelo left to right down the middle. He's played by Kobe Buffkin as he shades towards the left wing. Wraps around the screen, moving right. Pulls back, now on the crossover, dancing to the foul line, weaves down the left alley, all the way to the rack. The runner off the window is good. Shifty for Andre Curbelo. And the Illini back up 9, and this building has fallen silent again.
This is going to be a really crucial drive for the Wolverines, I believe.
Jones handling at the point, gets a Dickinson screen, moves left, downhill, kicks back up top, Dickinson, extra feed, right corner, Buffkin, clean look at a 3, left is short, got his own miss, ball fake, drives inside, and is fouled by Curbelo. So good wherewithal by Kobe Buffkin to stick with it, and he's fouled as a result.
Not the greatest 3-point, but thankfully he had enough awareness to immediately run up, know where the ball was going to be, and get that rebound.
It'll be a sideline out of bounds. Caleb Houston puts things into motion underneath the Wolverine basket. Lobs at the high post for Diabate, catches on the right wing. Musa searching, still looking, gets it to Buffkin on the right side. Buffkin with 12, feeds Dickinson into the pocket, handoff Buffkin, burst of speed, baseline, and he lays it in with the left hand. Kobe Buffkin, the freshman with the spark. Michigan within 7, 14-20 to play.
Kofi is just staying right on Hunter right now, and they definitely used that to their advantage. He was able to make a nice little slide pass, and he got wide open for the layup.
Curbelo around the Kofi screen, pulls back, right elbow J, pure. Andre Curbelo with 4 straight for Illinois. And back and forth we go. The lead is 9.
Oh, yeah. That was just a beautiful fadeaway from Illinois. Nothing Michigan really could have done for that.
Jones around the screen, zigzags to the right alley, back up top, Dickinson. He'll try another good contest by Coburn. The shot off the heel, rebound Curbelo. Jets into the forecourt, up ahead. Coburn stripped and fouled by Jones. Well, Jones got back, and at the very least will make Coburn, a 65% free throw shooter, earn a pair from the stripe.
For sure. It definitely looked like a guaranteed dunk for Coburn, who was unbelievably tall, but his free throws, as you said, 65%, and he has not been the best from the free throw line today. It says he is.
He's 0 of 2.
Yeah, he's 0 for 2.
Missed the pair a few minutes ago. Shooting.
Crisler Center loud.
He's shooting into that Michigan pep band and rattles in the first. Substitutions for the Wolverines. Buffkin, who played a few solid minutes, takes a seat for Eli Brooks. Terrence Williams checks into the ballgame for the first time today. Served his 1-game suspension for his role in last Sunday's altercation Wednesday against Rutgers. So he makes an appearance, and Moussa Diabate sits. One more upcoming for Coburn. Certainly taking his time at the stripe.
Sure. Nerves have got to be racking.
And he knocks it down. So a perfect trip for Kofi Coburn. Illinois leads by 11.
Was a noble attempt.
Jones right to left on the far side. Shut off on the wing by Curbelo. Back around the screen. Forces it up from the pocket. The floater drops in. Devontae Jones with the ill-advised shot, but gets it to fall.
Yeah, was not the best look, but thankfully it went perfectly in.
And Brooks the steal. Brooks into the forecourt. Turns the corner at the block. Stop, kick out left side Williams. Thought about a 3, give him the corner Brooks. Good transition defense from Illinois. Dickinson looking for Brooks. Fakes, got Coburn to bite, lumbers inside the runner. Oh, it's an offensive foul. Dickinson pointing, trying to make his case that Curbelo was inside the restricted area. He's not going to win the argument. Let's check out the replay. That's an offensive foul.
Yeah, for sure. Crisler Center definitely did not agree with it, but looking at the replay, I really don't think he can make an argument.
A heady play from Andre Curbelo because Coburn got pump faked out of his shoes, but Curbelo just sliding in for the help.
Oh, yeah. Looked like it should have been easy points for Hunter, but Curbelo, he was smart. He was right there.
And so Michigan still stuck at that 9-point deficit. Curbelo pushes left side for Luke Goody, the freshman. Drops it off for Frazier. Around the screen, pulls up for a deep 2. Got fouled from behind, counted at 1. Jones 2 overzealous, and Trent Frazier through the contact drains the 20-footer. And the lead is back to 11.
Illinois has made 3 of their last 3 field goals, plus the 2 points from the free throw by Kofi.
Well, Michigan's got to get some stops if they're going to come back in this one. The offense picking up, but can ill afford to trade baskets.
For sure. Like I said this earlier, but, you know, every single time that Michigan seems to have a good response on offense, Illinois comes back without breaking a sweat. They get those points right back.
Frankie Collins enters the game. Devontae Jones, after some erratic minutes, takes a seat. So it's Collins, Williams, Brooks, Houston, and Dickinson, the 5 out there for Michigan, as Trent Frazier, the super senior, looks to complete the 3-point play. He's an 87% free throw shooter. First trip to the line today. Frazier a few dribbles, bends his knees. And in and out, rebound, flagged down in the near side corner by Goody. And Illinois keeps the possession alive.
Not ideal for the Wolverines. They really need some luck and some plays to start going their way.
Curbelo around the screen. Here's Coburn, watch out. The big fella throwing it down, a 2-handed slam. And it turns into a 4-point possession for Illinois.
Shot clock still rattling after that dunk. That was a monster dunk.
Dickinson up top with Coburn. Michigan looking for life. Left side corner, Brooks. Touch feed left wing, Williams. Shut off by Goody. Williams pivots, gives for Dickinson at the elbow. Hands off back for Williams. Bobbled the handoff. 10 to shoot around the screen. Williams jacks up a step back 2 and drills it. Well, that is not what you want, but it somehow works out.
Yeah, certainly. I watched him taking the shot. I really did not agree with it, but
I don't think anyone in the building, besides the man shooting it, agreed with it. But Williams knocks it down. 11:55 left in the second. Next whistle takes us to the under 12. Illinois up 64-53. Frazier working up top with Houston. Kicks back right side. Hawkins drives on Williams, straddles the baseline. Wraparound feed left side. Curbelo. Curbelo with 5 to shoot up top. Drives left. Great seal out by Coburn. And Curbelo, uncontested, glides to the rack for 2.
Illinois up 13, 53-66. 11 minutes, 30 seconds left.
Collins on the crossover. Probes. Give up top Dickinson. Draped by Coburn. Back right side Williams around the screen. And he's fouled on the drive by Goody. And so that'll take us to the under 12 timeout. 11:27 left in this one. Illinois up 66-53. Michigan's got to make a run sooner rather than later here.
Yeah, for sure. Michigan's got to just play some full court basketball, you know. They'll make a great play on defense. They'll get a great turnover, and then offensively they just can't make anything happen. Or they'll make a great play on offense. They'll get a great shot, and then Illinois drives back and immediately takes those points back.
Well, Michigan had it within 7. That's the closest they've gotten this half. It was an 8-point lead at halftime. Stands as a 13-point advantage now. Illinois has made their last 5 from the field. The defense really has to step it up. Michigan allowed just 68 points when these two teams met in Champaign 6 weeks ago. Today, already 66 with 11:27 left in this one.
Barring disaster, I think Illinois is gonna get some more points than they
It
did in
would
Champaign.
be unimaginable that Illinois only scores 2 points the rest of the way.
Yeah, do not believe that's gonna happen, but you never know in basketball. But yeah, like you said, Illinois has made 5 of their last 5 shots. They cannot miss right now.
And Michigan, on the other hand, their offense just a tad behind. Shooting 49% for the field. The 3-point ball has not been there, just 3 of 11. Illinois, meanwhile, 8 of 14 from 3. A lot of that onslaught coming in the first half. This half, they have played through the big man. Kofi Coburn has been tremendous. He's got 10 already in the half.
I don't think Illinois has made a 3 all half. They've really only attempted 1 or 2 at most, I want to say. And, you know, it really, that first half, the 3-pointers, I think, have made all the difference. There's, you know, 15-point difference just counting 3s. Michigan currently down by 13. You know, 3-pointers have been a bit of an issue for the Wolverines this season. You know, it has made the difference in a big win and an ugly loss in more than one occasion, really.
I think it shows you how dangerous Illinois is, how they can be successful in so many ways. The first half, bombing 3s. Second half, play through their All-American center. It's a very good problem to have if you're Brad Underwood.
Oh, yeah. They're playing a bit smarter, I think, Illinois. Not that they weren't playing smart in the first half, but I think they know not to take risky shots, not to risk turnovers. Give it to your guys who can consistently score.
Michigan will have to figure out how to slow down Coburn.
They have not had a response for him all half. The only time Michigan really seemed to come back in this half was when he sat out for a minute or 2.
That was the stretch. They had cut it to 7, I believe, and Caleb Houston had a transition 3 that would have blown the roof off this place had it not been an air ball.
Yeah, just a little too much strength on that shot, I'd have to say.
So Michigan at a critical juncture in this game, down 13 with 11:27 left. The lineup on the floor out of the timeout: Frankie Collins, Eli Brooks, Terrence Williams, Brandon Johns, and Caleb Houston. Someone's going to have to provide some heavy-duty scoring and some very solid defense.
For sure. Kofi staying in on the Illinois side.
As is Coleman Hawkins. That's 2 big men out there for Illinois at 7'1" and 6'10", and no Dickinson for Michigan.
Again, cannot understate how much of a large man Kofi is.
Collins in the right wing, draped by Curbelo. Gets a screen from Williams, doesn't use it on the crossover. Collins spinning into the lane, up with the layup, sent back by Coburn. That's a goaltend. You can count that basket. Kofi Coburn has a streak where he hasn't blocked a shot in the last 5 games. Was a few fingertips away from ending that, but count it for Collins.
That was a very impressive block. Very obvious goaltending call there, but honestly for Illinois, I think that gets you a little bit more excited than just letting him score.
Coburn underneath. He's matched with Johns. This isn't going to work. Up with the left, and he hooks it home. That's 7-1 on 6-8, and Illinois back up 13.
Like you just said, you can just immediately tell this is not going to work.
Collins on the right wing. Michigan looking to steady the ship. Collins weaves to the foul line. Now with the left elbow, leans into Curbelo, forces it up with the left. Left it short, but draws a foul.
I mean, yeah, like we've been saying all half, Michigan does not have a response for Kofi. I said it a minute ago, the only time they've really had a chance is when he sat out for a minute or two.
Of note, that's the 7th team foul in Illinois, meaning Michigan, with this half, not even halfway through, is already in the bonus.
That's very crucial. That could be really important down the line.
Frankie Collins, shooting is not his forte. He's just a 44% free throw shooter, but he knocks down the first.
Aggressively made. Illinois still continuing a perfect streak of baskets, made 6 of their last 6, but Michigan has made 3 of their last 3.
Second one for Collins is good. So Frankie Collins makes good on a pair. He's got 4 straight points from Michigan. The Illinois lead is 11.
Defense has really got to start making some plays.
Frazier, shadowed by Collins, give to the point Grandison. Here's Coburn with Johns at the foul line. He's doubled, fights his way through it. Layup won't go, but he's fouled. And if you're Brad Underwood, where else do you put the ball than Kofi Coburn? He's matched up with Brandon Johns.
That seems to be Illinois' game plan. Just give it to him down low.
I mean, I get that Michigan doesn't have a backup center, really, and that this is the option. Besides, I guess they could go with Moussa Diabate, but the double's got to come much faster than that if they're going to slow down Coburn with Brandon Johns as the primary defender. First free throw for Coburn, rims off. Or you could just foul him every possession and live with it.
I think he's said it earlier. He's 2 for 5 now. I think you have better luck at him maybe missing a free throw.
65% on the season. One more upcoming for the big fella. And he gets it to go. So he heard Ryan and I making fun of him, and he splits a pair. 69-57, Illinois up 12. Collins up top, Engels right. With Plummer, picks up his dribble. Gets it to Brooks, touch feed right back to Collins, high on that right wing. Collins slips the screen, tries to turn the corner, sidesteps through traffic, to the rack, everything but the finish. Illinois clears. Frazier, high steps down the far side. Working with Collins, directing traffic, give to the point for Grandison. Grandison with Houston, angles right, skip feed in the corner, Hawkins. Hawkins with Houston, back up top, Plummer. Plummer moving right, draws a switch on Houston. Drives, stops at the block on the jump stop. Gives for Hawkins at the elbow. He's matched up with the smaller Brooks, 8 to shoot. Hawkins across the lane, it's one-on-one, backdoor, and that's Grandison. Williams just totally lost his man, and the lead is ballooned to 14.
Michigan played really solid defense there, but when it mattered most, right at the end, they let Illinois get some easy points.
Houston attacks Coburn, draws a foul, and throws up a wild runner that ricochets off the side of the backboard, but 2 free throws upcoming nonetheless.
I believe that will be Kofi Coburn's first. For a minute, I was looking at the wrong stat line. I thought maybe it had a little bit more, but not the case.
In 3 of Illinois' 5 conference losses, Coburn has had 4 or more fouls. Don't think he's going to get there today. Just 1 with 9:42 left. 1 free throw for Caleb Houston. That's good. 1 more upcoming now. So here is Dickinson and Diabate, a complete substitution in the front court. Williams and Johns will sit. I don't think Phil Martelli's experiment there went as planned.
No, definitely not.
1 more for Houston. Got to go. 71-59 if Michigan's going to make a run, and they got to start it now. 9:42 left in the first. Here comes a full court press.
Illinois has not missed a basket in a while. 7 of their last 7 shots have gone in.
Frazier breaks the press down the middle, drops off left side. Grandison giving the corner. Plummer lets the 3 fly. You betcha. Alfonso Plummer, shades of the first half. First 3-pointer of the second half for Illinois. And the lead is 15.
8 of their last 8 now.
Collins around the screen, moving right. Drops it into the pocket for Diabate. Facing the basket with Hawkins, lowers his shoulder, bursts to speed across the lane. Up and under, forces it up, got it to go, and a foul for Moussa Diabate. A much-needed chance at a 3-point play.
For sure, that three-pointer from Illinois really could have been a momentum and potential game killer, but if Michigan can come back with the three-point play here, not so fast.
So Diabate to the stripe, trying to complete the three-point play. He's a 61% free throw shooter. His first free throw of the day is upcoming. Knocks it down. 74-62. Michigan trails by 12. Full court press in effect again. 9:12 to play. Trent Frazier in the backcourt. Musa Diabate hounding Grandison. Back to Frazier at the block end. Pass across. And Coleman Hawkins is fouled high on that left wing, 40 feet away from the basket by Caleb Houston.
Sometimes not the worst thing that can happen. Does let the team regroup. Hopefully, you know, make some substitutions.
And substitutions indeed. Collins and Houston sit. Jones and Bufkin enter. Illinois, though, is in the bonus, so it's a costly foul on Houston. 1-1 for Coleman Hawkins. He's a 65% free throw shooter.
Did not notice that. Yes, both teams are now in the bonus and still got 9 minutes left in the half.
Hawkins too strong, rebound Diabate, so I suppose it works out.
Yeah.
9 to play. Michigan down by 12. What do the Wolverines have in them? Jones on the right wing around the screen. Pulls back. Give to the point Dickinson. Backdoor left side Brooks. Brooks, tough two-pointer off the bounce. In and out. And a rebound Coburn.
It's rough. I think that last drive was the first time in a while Illinois hadn't gotten any points on a drive. And to go back and just miss a floater like that, really not what you want.
Frazier up top. Wraps around the screen. Moves right. Pulls back on the wing. Gives underneath for Coburn. Got good position on Dickinson. Nearly fell down. Whistles it away for Hawkins. Through traffic. Sent back by Diabate. Jones the board. 5-on-4 as Hawkins is slow to give up. Jones right side Brooks. Brooks fakes. Brooks drives the baseline. He's shut off in traffic. Spins out of it. Shovels it off Diabate. Hands off Brooks in the corner. Brooks knocks Frazier to the ground. It's a play on. Drops it underneath for Musa. The ball is stagnant here. Musa spinning. Lefty hook. And it swivels in a toilet bowl. Somehow Michigan gets points on that possession. Brad Underwood is irate. I believe he just called a timeout. He is fuming at Coleman Hawkins.
Oh yeah, he is not happy with that last drive. That was Illinois' first miss of the last eight field goals last drive. They're 8 of their last 9.
74-64. Michigan down by 10. 8:07 to play. They won't go away.
No, definitely. Illinois has had a lot of opportunities to, I think, really put this game completely out of reach.
The largest lead was 15 just a few minutes ago. Michigan has responded with a 5-0 spurt. Hasn't been quick. Very stagnant offensive possessions on both ends, but somehow Musa Diabate got 2 tough hook shots to go. And Michigan is in this game. They're 1 run away from really making Illinois sweat it.
Oh, yeah. You know, still a 10-point game. Still, 8 minutes left. Still plenty of time, like you said, for a good quality run. I think that's really just what Michigan needs right now. They've made 5 of their last 7. So hopefully they can keep up that good streak. And
the telltale stat, though, is that Illinois, as you mentioned, has made 8 of their last 9. And they're shooting 57% from the field and 60% from 3. Those numbers are not conducive to a win if you're giving those up, and I think Michigan is learning that the hard way so far this afternoon.
Yeah, definitely. This is defense has really got to start playing a bit more aggressive, avoid fouls, because as we've said, both Illinois and Michigan are both in the bonus, so you definitely don't want to let up easy free throws, but you also really want to stop Illinois from scoring, because it really feels like they cannot miss recently.
Alfonso Plummer with 26, Kofi Coburn with 21. Dynamite duo of the day for Illinois.
Kofi Coburn has been the man of the half for Illinois. They consistently giving it to him down low, making easy layups, and he's really making it hard for Hunter to get a lot done on the other side.
13 second half points for Coburn. He's a perfect 6 of 6 from the field as well.
Yeah, I mean, how do you stop him defensively? Michigan puts 2, 3 men on him. It does not matter. Your
best option is probably to double or foul, right?
Yeah, seriously.
Still a ways to go in this one. Michigan down 10, plenty of time left. 8:07 left, 74-64. Illinois with the 10-point lead.
Michigan definitely does have a chance. This game is not over yet. I've seen stranger things happen in basketball, to say the least.
Michigan has not led in this one. Illinois has been in the driver's seat the whole game. They've led by as many as 15, but the Wolverines haven't let this one unravel. And as we keep saying, you feel like they're just one run away.
Yeah, like you said, Michigan has never had the lead in this game, even at the very beginning. So
5 on the court right now for the Wolverines. It's Bufkin, Jones, Brooks, Diabate, and Dickinson. Illinois basketball as the Diabate hook shot bookended the other end of this timeout. Illinois with Plummer, Granderson, Frazier, Williams, and Coburn. That's the 5 starters for Brad Underwood's group. Less of a full court press here, but Jones picks up Frazier in the backcourt, works his way across the timeline right down the middle, stomping on the block end, pushes right side Plummer, gives up top Granderson, draped by Diabate. Granderson on the crossover, moves left around the Coburn screen, draws Dickinson in the pocket. Now a mismatch. Coburn working with Diabate, and he's fouled on the entry feed. So free throws for Kofi Coburn, but those will come on the other side of the under 8 timeout. 7:49 left in the second half. We love our timeouts, don't we?
certainly, yes, absolutely. Just had a 2-3 minute timeout. Got to have another one. But yeah, you know, what were we just saying a minute ago? What have we been saying? The best way to stop Kofi, it seems, is to foul him and just pray that he misses those threes. He is 3 for 6, 50%, which is about consistent with how he's been all season.
And Michigan certainly isn't doing that on purpose, per se, but it's not the worst thing in the world. You'd rather play him aggressively and pick up a foul than lay off him.
Let him know that he's not going to get those points easily.
Right, right. So that is what will happen at the other side of this timeout. Kofi Coburn will head to the line for a 1-and-1. Let's take a look at this game in the grander picture of Michigan's season, yes. 3 games left after this. Home versus Michigan State Tuesday. Home versus Iowa Thursday. Away in Columbus against Ohio State on Sunday. If you include today, those are 4 very difficult games. 3 quad 1 opportunities. MSU might be a quad 1 now, actually, having beaten Purdue yesterday. No easy wins. If Michigan wants to feel safe entering the Big Ten tournament, probably need at least 2.
Yeah, you definitely want to get, this win would definitely help them feel very confident, but Michigan State has been kind of struggling going into the end of the season. They had a very impressive win against Purdue, though, at home yesterday. A lot of top 10 teams lost yesterday, which I think really blows March Madness and all the brackets wide
7
open.
of the top 10, including all top 6.
Oh yeah, something like that. It was a crazy night, crazy day of basketball.
A banner day for college basketball. That's why we all love this sport. Anything can happen,
absolutely.
and that includes maybe Michigan coming back in this one.
Who knows? 10 points, 7 minutes, 49 seconds. Absolutely can happen. Like we've been saying, they just need one good run.
But so Michigan looking now probably about 11 seed, 10 seed. One of the last few teams in the Big Ten tournament. NCAA tournament. They might have to play in the first 4. Each game carries so much importance.
Definitely, yeah. You know, like you said, I do think you want to try to win 2 of these. This is a rougher one. They have Ohio State to end the season, which is going to be rough.
That's a difficult one.
Yeah.
And then, of course, they could make headway in the Big Ten tournament. They'll likely play on Thursday. Anything can happen there. We've seen that over the years. But that means the flip side can happen also. You could lose on day 1, which means you want to go into the Big Ten tournament not needing a whole lot.
Most experts have Michigan, you know, last 4 teams in, last 8 teams in at best. It really depends on how they close out the season. You know, getting that close-ish win against Rutgers earlier in the week.
Big win.
Yeah, that was a big, crucial win, you know.
But this is also a Michigan team that hasn't been able to stack together victories. They won on Wednesday. Can they follow it up today? So far, not so good.
Yeah.
So here's Coburn. We'll see if the strategy that Ryan and I have been preaching pays off.
They should be taking notes. Listen to us.
The 1-and-1 for Kofi, and he drills it.
He's going to drill the first one.
You think he hears us?
I don't know. Maybe he could. Starting to get a little nervous. That's why I'm not saying anything while he shoots it. If he looks directly at me after making this shot, then I'll know.
75-64. Coburn's got one more, and he makes it. Did not look at us, though.
Yeah, he looked the other way, thankfully.
76-64. Illinois up 12, 7:45 and rolling left in this one. Devontae Jones right to left, all 5 starters on the floor for the Wolverines. Give up top Dickinson, and a whistle and a foul underneath. DeMonte Williams bear hugged Musa Diabate. And so a 1-and-1 upcoming for Diabate, who struggles at the stripe himself, just 61%. With both teams in the bonus the rest of the way, free throws are going to be very crucial in deciding this one.
Feels like the last couple drives, it's been free throw, timeout, free throw, timeout.
Not a lot of action.
No, certainly not.
Important one upcoming for Diabate. And he short arms it.
Not ideal, not
Michigan,
the best look.
It was the 10th foul, though, for Illinois, so Michigan is in the double bonus from here on out. One more for Diabate. That one goes home.
11-point game. Illinois going to make a quick substitution here.
Andre Curbelo into the game for Williams. Curbelo, Frazier, Plummer. 3 dynamic guards along with Grandison and Coburn. Full court press again for the Wolverines as they try to make something happen. 7:37 to play. Grandison across for Frazier. Down the far side, now works his way to the point as he barks out an order. Frazier still calling out a play, motioning, gets a double screen up top, curls left. Frazier high steps, feeds Coburn inside, stripped by Jones, last touch by Coburn. And that's going to Michigan. Great help from Devontae Jones.
Absolutely needed that. Like I said, you got to keep playing aggressive with Kofi. Sometimes a foul's going to get called. Sometimes you get a beautiful turnover like that. Let him know he's not going to get easy points.
7:17 left to play. Devontae Jones up the right side. Houston gets it back on a handoff. Jones wide open for 3. Pulls trigger. No good, but he's fouled. And that is a huge foul on Jacob Grandison. And 3 free throws upcoming for Devontae Jones.
This is going to be huge. This is huge. This could pull Michigan within single digits for the first time in what really feels like a while.
Adds to our lack of rhythm here.
11-point game, 7 minutes, 12 seconds left.
3 crucial free throws upcoming for Jones, who shoots it at a 75% clip from the stripe. And he makes the first.
If he makes some crucial free throws here, I really think that blows the game wide open. You get a big stop, hopefully, on Illinois' next defensive drive, and suddenly it feels like you could be in the driver's seat.
And Jones knocks down the second.
9-point game, goes back to only a single-digit lead for Illinois.
One more upcoming for Jones, looking to make it a perfect trip. And he does. So here is Michigan, drawn within 8. 7:10 to play, and Crisler Center getting loud. Up the right side, Frazier. Shook Houston, now slows things down, back to the point for Curbelo.
He certainly looked like he could have had a good look at the basket, but decided to be wiser to slow things down.
Curbelo plays catch with Plummer, gets it back at the block M, finds Grandison at the elbow, giving the corner Plummer with Diabate. Plummer with 8 to shoot. Up top, Grandison, high on the wing with 5 to shoot. Grandison finds Curbelo at the elbow. Curbelo stripped, stolen by Houston.
Beautifully played. Illinois could not get any open looks there.
Jones on the left side. They'll slow things down for Michigan. At the point, pulls up a 3. He's got it! Ring it up for Devontae Jones. He drains a 3. It's a 5-point game, and Brad Underwood calls a timeout. Michigan within 5 with 6.5 to play.
I have to apologize. Sorry, I blinked there for a second. What happened?
Devontae Jones with the crucial 3s beginning to take over for Michigan. 6 straight points for the point guard. And the Wolverines are all of a sudden within 5. We said they were just 1 run away. Here's the run. A 7-0 spurt over the last 71 seconds. And we have a game.
Desperately needed for Michigan, better late than never, Not a whole lot of time left, clock slowly ticking down. Team's really got to start waking up, start making some big plays, and that's exactly what they're doing. They've had some great defensive stands there and some great 3s.
And Devontae Jones, in a blink of an eye, is up to 19 points and 9 assists, willing Michigan back into this one. Both teams back on the floor after that quick timeout. It's Jones, Brooks, Houston, Diabate, and Dickinson for the Wolverines.
Illinois definitely needed that timeout, I think, to regroup, make sure these guys start waking up. Might have been getting a little complacent there.
And Brad Underwood has had to call 2 timeouts in the past 2 minutes of game clock.
He's getting a little nervous.
Illinois breaks the press. Curbelo at the block M. He's played by Jones. Around a screen, curls right. Curbelo turns the corner all the way to the rack, and he lays it in. Crowd silencer for Andre Curbelo. Michigan pushing, now slows things down. The lead is back to 7 for Illinois. Diabate high on the left side. It goes to Jones. Gets a high screen from Dickinson. Weaves his way to the foul line. Sloppy with the dribble. He's knocked over. It's a play on. Diabate gets to the ball first, then throws it away. It goes to Grandison. And Illinois settles down. A wild sequence. I thought for sure there should have been a foul.
Jones was a little slow to get up.
He's shaking that left hand.
Oh, yeah, he was cradling that arm for a moment.
Curbelo to Grandison underneath Coburn. He's doubled into the corner. Plummer fakes, or Frazier rather, works the baseline and lays it in. And that is a huge 4-0 swing in Illinois' favor.
Yeah, he had a wide open look at a 3, but I think he was wise. You want those guaranteed points. You want to let Michigan know they're not back in this one.
Jones turned the corner, shut off by Coburn, works the baseline, hop steps inside, stripped and stolen. And so Michigan, after closing the deficit to 5, has completely faltered on the other side of that timeout.
Right when you think Michigan's back in it, it does not appear to be the case.
Curbelo up top with Houston, finds Coburn underneath, and he's wrapped up and fouled.
Michigan, again, even on those drives, they really cannot stop Illinois' offense. Illinois has made 10 of their last 11. Their defense, Illinois' offense just keeps getting good looks.
Illinois is already at 80 points, and there's 5:03 to play.
Certainly not over yet. Still 9-point game with 5 minutes left. But Illinois has got to start missing some shots soon if Michigan wants back in this.
Coburn short on the free throw. Dickinson clears. Dickinson up for Jones. Down the left side with Curbelo. Pushes for Houston. Pitches back for Jones. Curls right after the screen. A hard screen. Jones falls down. Gets it back in the corner. Curbelo is hurt. Jones fires. Can't hit a 3. Rebound pinballs around. And Curbelo just got leveled on that screen on the right wing. He missed a good chunk of time earlier in the season with a concussion and a neck injury. He peels himself off the ground. There was a foul in the scrum for the ball on Diabate.
He is very clearly wincing.
He's on his feet now.
I really hate to see it.
As his right arm slung over Trent Frazier's shoulder. He's calling off the trainer.
I don't know, though. He certainly does not look 100%.
Free throw coming up. Free throws, now that Michigan is in, both teams are in the double bonus, upcoming for Jacob Grandison after the Diabate foul crashing the glass. Illinois is giving Michigan chances to get back into this game, but the Wolverines keep giving them back. That was a wide open 3 from Jones. Could not convert. First free throw from Grandison is too strong. And so the Illini have shot it lights out from the field, but they're just 9 of 18 from the free throw line.
That's really what's helped Michigan, I think, stay in this game. Those are 9 free points that they are just leaving up there.
One more for Grandison. That one's good. Lead is back to 10. Wolverines had cut it down to 5. It was the closest they've been since the first half. Jones up top, gets a high screen from Dickinson, moves left. Can't shake Frazier. Back for Dickinson. With Coburn, hands off right wing Houston. Houston drives down the alley. Left-handed runner, got it to go. Off the window for repair, and the lead is down to 8. 4.5 to play.
Illinois called a really crucial timeout after Michigan got it within 5, and since then it's really just been all fighting Illini.
Frazier up top. Curbelo is out of the game. He's being looked at on the sideline. Coleman Hawkins in instead.
He definitely tried to stay in, but I don't think the team was going to let him.
Grandison left side for Williams with Diabate on the crossover. Works the baseline. Floats it right corner Houston. Hawkins rather. Drives on Houston. Tough foul line fade off the heel. Rebound wrestled home by Diabate. Outlet right side Jones. Michigan pushing. Jones takes it himself. Gets to the rack. The runner got it to go. A kiss and a wink off glass for Devontae Jones, and Michigan within 6 again.
Less than 4 minutes Really, defense has got to make some crucial stops, and they need some fast points.
Grandison handling at the block M. Michigan will not go away. Frazier with Brooks around a Coburn screen, curls right, pulls back, picks up his dribble. Here's Coburn underneath, lowers the shoulder. Coburn doubled, and he traveled. Kofi Coburn called for steps. Michigan will have the ball down by 6. At the other end of the under 4 timeout, 3.5 to play. This is going to be an exciting finish inside the Crisler Center.
You keep saying it, Michigan will not go away.
They just won't.
Yeah,
they won't.
You hate saying it, but I think Illinois has really been, the consistently better team today. But I have to compliment the Wolverines. I have to compliment Michigan. They will not go away. They're keeping it close. They're keeping it manageable. It doesn't matter how many mistakes they're making. You know, they're not letting Illinois they're catching Illinois when they're too complacent. Michigan not giving up.
I mean, we had a few fans in the section over streaming for the exits after Illinois went back up 10 after Michigan had cut it to 5. But the Wolverines, every time their backs are against the wall, they rally back. And you know for sure, they know what's at stake here, how huge a win this would be to bolster that NCAA tournament resume.
For sure. They're not letting Illinois breathe easy. You know, they go up by 10, and then suddenly they make some big defensive stops. They get some wide open looks. Going to be Michigan basketball, only down by 6, 3.5 minutes left. That is more than manageable. That is very possible.
3.5 to play. Illinois up by 6. Michigan there's really no other way to say it. They're resilient, they're persistent, they're scratching, they're clawing. And that Kofi Coburn travel, just the 9th turnover of the game for Illinois, was huge. Michigan, the closest they've been this half is 5. It was an 8-point deficit at halftime. The lead has ballooned to as large as 15.
Especially recently, I think Illinois' biggest mistakes have been turnovers and just missed free throws. Because again, they may have made 10 of their last 12. This is a streak that has been going for I don't even know how long. But they have not been missing shots. But Michigan's being wise. They're getting the ball back after sloppy turnovers. They're making sure that Illinois' worst free throwers are going to the line, and they're not consistently making them.
81-75. Michigan trails by 6. The building is into it.
Yeah, oh yeah. Michigan's still very realistically in this one.
You can't tell that the Maze Rage is very much diminished in size because of spring break.
Oh yeah,
It is loud.
Still very sizable amount of people in the Maze Rage, but yeah, spring break just started for University of Michigan students on Friday this week. Some of them very clearly have gone home. But that is not stopping this crowd from getting loud, from getting rowdy, and getting excited for this team.
So here we go. Michigan has broken its huddle. No surprise. In terms of personnel, it's Jones, Brooks, Houston, Diabate, Dickinson. Have to figure Phil Martelli's going to run with this one the rest of the way unless someone fouls out. 3 fouls for Dickinson, Jones, and Diabate apiece, so that's not a huge concern, but something to monitor the rest of the way here.
Yeah, certainly have to be very careful.
Andre Curbelo back on the floor for Illinois, so good to see that he seems to be doing all right.
That's good. It was a bit of a scary collision. He was slow to get up, but
Michigan takes it right to left via Jones. Tosses left side Houston, guarded by Grandison. Give to the point for Brooks. Flips right wing Jones with Frazier. Slips the screen, has Frazier on his back. Yo-yos to the pocket, now pulls back on the wing. Gives right side Dickinson, hands off Jones. Jones navigates the screen, probes the floater in a crowd. Won't go, but he's fouled.
Michigan taking quite a bit of time to find a good look on the basket there. There's only 3 minutes and 12 seconds left. Still down by 6. I think you really need some quick points if you're the Wolverines, but thankfully he got fouled. He did have a good look at the basket, did not go in.
Jones is 5 of 5 from the stripe on the day. He shoots it at a 75% clip on the year. 21 points and 9 assists in what has been a very strong performance from him this afternoon. And he buries the first. So Michigan back within 5.
It was so silent when he was taking that first free throw. I swear, you could have heard a pin drop.
Everyone in this building is aware how much is hanging in the balance here in these final 3 minutes and 12 seconds. One more for Jones. Got it. Michigan within 4. It's the closest the Wolverines have been since the first half. 81-77. Illinois up by 4.
Michigan bench getting all these Wolverines fans to get up on their feet, and they are.
Grandison up top, hands off right side, Frazier, played by Brooks. Frazier moving right, shadowed by Brooks. Tosses to the point for Curbelo. Curbelo with Jones. Curbelo moves left. He's left alone. Now Jones gets back to him. Shot clock at 8. Curbelo on the left wing. Trying to find Coburn. Can't get it to him. Up top, Frazier. Around a screen. Crossover in a crowd. Frazier forces it up for Coburn. Coburn the fade. It's no good. Hawkins the board, then lost it, but he's fouled. Fouled from behind by Dickinson, and Coleman Hawkins will head to the line for a pair. Michigan got the stop. Illinois was all out of sorts, but the Wolverines couldn't get the rebound.
Dickinson very not happy about the call, as you can see on the replay. I mean, reasonably so, but yeah, the shot clock was just about to expire. I really did not think Kofi was going to get that shot off.
Coleman Hawkins is a 65% free throw shooter. 0 of 1 from the line today. He'll have 2 seismic free throws upcoming here. And he misses the first off back iron.
You can tell, I'm sure he is sweating pretty hard right now. I think everybody on the Illinois team is sweating very hard.
Everyone in this arena.
Yeah, I certainly am.
One more for Hawkins. Got it. So Coleman Hawkins splits a pair. The lead is back to 5, 2:40 to play. Eli Brooks will handle right to left for the Wolverines. On the left wing, drops it off high on that side for Houston. Houston handles to the point, gives for Jones, flips right wing. Brooks curls around the Diabate hedge. Brooks in the pocket, forces up the floater, rolls off the rim, and Coburn the rebound. 2:20 to play.
Michigan really needed a basket there. They really, really did.
Illinois up 5. Curbelo handles up top. Angles left, around the Coburn screen. Brooks went under it. Curbelo's wide open, cannot hit. Diabate the board. Quick outlet up the left side, Jones. Michigan racing. Jones pitches left wing. Houston catch and shoot for 3. He's got it! Caleb Houston, ring it up.
2-point game. What is happening? 2-point game, 2 minutes and 2 seconds left. Holy cow. That's all I can say right now.
82-80. Michigan's made 5 of its last 7 from the field. How about the Wolverines pushing the pace and Devontae Jones perfectly setting up Caleb Houston for that left wing 3. There was that 3-pointer from Houston earlier in the half that could have cut the deficit to 4, and Houston airmailed it from the right wing. This time, much more poised, got set, flashed that lethal stroke. This game is far from over.
Michigan, as we keep saying, refuses to go away, even when the shot clock expired and Illinois got a lucky foul, and then Michigan came back, missed an easy layup. You know, a lot of people, I think, were thinking that momentum shift had ended, but Michigan absolutely not. I have my feet on the ground. I can feel the ground shaking.
82-80. Michigan is within 2. It's the closest the Wolverines have been since early on in the first half. Michigan has not led today. They had it tied at 10-10. It's now 82-80. Illinois is clenching a 2-point lead. Michigan deploying a full court press out of the timeout. The inbound comes to Frazier. Tracked by Jones in the backcourt. Frazier works his way across. It's 5th-year senior on 5th-year senior at the point. Frazier curls around the screen, moves right, gives up top Grandison with Houston underneath for Coburn. Coburn right-handed hook, rattles it in. And a quick timeout for Brad Underwood.
Not that I think Michigan wants to give up any points there, but thankfully those are some quick points. Did not take too much time off the clock. You know, obviously, like I'm saying, you don't want Illinois to score any points if you're Michigan right now, but I suppose that's better than many alternatives.
Well, that's exactly what the doctor ordered for Illinois. A crowd silence here and a very easy bucket going right back to the well. Kofi Coburn now with 25 points.
Lets the Fighting Illini breathe a little easily. But minute 45 left, 46 left, excuse me. Only a 4-point deficit. I've seen teams come back from worse than this.
Plenty of time left, a world of time. for the Wolverines to complete what would be a fantastic, thrilling comeback. Down by 4, 84-80, with 1:46 to play. All 5 starters still out there for the Wolverines.
I think you need all 5 starters out there right now. You need the best players you got right now, because this is a huge win that would go very far into the postseason.
Brooks pushing, handles up top. Can't shake Curbelo, swivels away from him, drops it left side Houston. Houston around the Dickinson screen, gives left wing Dickinson. Dickinson, backdoor Houston, slicing inside, hangs, runner won't go. Fight for the ball, it's a jump ball. Possession arrow goes to Illinois. Houston wanted a foul, didn't get it. And the Illini get the ball back with 90 seconds to play.
Many fans not happy with the lack of a foul call there. We'll check the replay. Oh yeah, fans really do not like the lack of a call.
Not sure how straight up Curbelo was going.
I think he definitely could have made an argument either way.
Frazier works his way across, hounded by Jones. Time is of the essence for Michigan, but not for Illinois. Frazier holds it high at the block M, straddling the timeline.
You need a big defensive stop here. You cannot let them score if you're Michigan.
Kicks back right side, Grandison wide open for 3 off the heel. Rebound Hawkins! And Illinois resets. 60 seconds to play, 15 seconds to shoot. Frazier holds at the logo. He's matched up with Houston. Frazier curls left, nothing doing. 7 to shoot, draped by Houston, moving right. 4 to shoot. Frazier's got to go. Frazier heaves off the bounce. He hits! Trent Frazier, a backbreaker. The lead is 7.
Worst thing that could have possibly happened there. That is such a big momentum.
Dickinson
killer.
on the right wing looking for an answer. That rims out Curbelo the board. He's doubled in the corner and fouled by Houston. Clothesline to the floor. And fans are streamlining for the exit. 87-80, Illinois up 7, 33.6 seconds to go. Ice in his veins for Trent Frazier.
Took up so much time, missed that first shot. They got an expert rebound and were able to drill a 3. Like I said, worst possible outcome for Michigan on that drive. They came really close. You know, just inches from greatness. Really got to say, game is not over, but if he makes these free throws, might as well be.
And Curbelo connects on the first. He's a 74% free throw shooter. Has 11 points, 3 rebounds, and 3 assists today. Got that one to go, and the lead is 9.
Illinois on a 7-0 run over the last minute 13. I mean, if you're Michigan, you just can't let that happen.
Houston on the wing, fakes, leans into a 3, draws a foul. It thuds off the backboard. Trent Frazier irate, so is Brad Underwood. So 3 free throws on the way for Caleb Houston.
Not the strongest call I've ever seen, I will admit, but we'll get Michigan 3 free throws. .27 seconds left. Michigan down by 9. 3-pointers could give them a chance. Game is not over just yet.
3 free throws upcoming for Caleb Houston. He's a 76% free throw shooter. 4 of 4 from the line today. Make it 5 of 5. 27 seconds to go. Michigan still has a fighter's chant. It's not over till it's over, as they say. 1 more for Houston.
I didn't hear no bell.
Got that one to go. Sorry, 1 more upcoming after this. He was fouled on a 3. Houston makes all 3, draws Michigan within 6.
27 seconds left. Michigan's obviously going to be fouling immediately. Gotta hope they give it to a bad free throw shooter.
Coleman Hawkins will inbound. Hawkins looking, still looking, gets it in the corner, Grandison. Grandison is doubled, and he gets it up on the right side, Frazier. A burst of speed across the timeline, lobbing for Coburn. An exclamation point for Illinois. Jones the other way on the left side. Jones drives, turns the corner, floater off the window, got it to go. And Phil Martelli will call a timeout. Michigan within 6, 91-85. Just 15.9 ticks left to play.
Certainly not over yet. Still only a 2-possession game if Michigan can maybe grab a nice steal off of inbound pass. Never say never, is what I'll say. I'll say it again. I did not hear a bell.
A furious comeback attempt by the Wolverines may just fall a tad short.
Really just hate to see it. It really looked like Michigan had a chance. The whole stadium was on their feet, and that drained three-pointer by Illinois, you could hear all the noise.
The shot clock
the
winding
energy.
down. Caleb Houston way up in his grill. A tremendous defensive possession. And Trent Frazier with the backbreaker.
You could really feel all the energy, all the excitement, all the everything leave the stadium with that one. Maze Rage still here, refusing to give up on the Wolverines.
A once-packed Crisler Center that was really rocking this afternoon has almost all emptied out.
It was a rough sight to see. Like I said, Michigan just needs a lucky steal on an inbound pass, and maybe, just maybe.
We'll see if a little bit of luck is on Michigan's side here.
That's all I'll say. Michigan will definitely need a lot of luck.
Grandison will inbound. Kofi Coburn, Coleman Hawkins, Andre Curbelo, and Trent Frazier all standing out of bounds as well. It's a little wrinkle. It is allowed. It'll actually be Frazier inbounding. Curbelo, rather. They keep switching it up. Curbelo searching, gets it in the right side. Frazier. Frazier scoots away from Jones and is fouled in the backcourt by Houston. 2.1 ticks go off the clock.
Took a few seconds for them to get the foul. 13.8 seconds left, 6-point game. Hopefully Illinois, for the Wolverines, Illinois will not make them.
Trent Frazier, not exactly the guy you want to foul. He shoots it at an 87% clip. Did miss his only one earlier today. That was back in the first half.
I think he's had enough time to shake that miss out of his mind. I'm sure that's not even, he doesn't even remember it.
They're wiping up a wet spot at the block M where Jones and Dickinson took respective tumbles.
Basketball players can be some of the best actors in the world. Need to invent a new Oscar for them.
Michigan has no timeouts left. That's worth mentioning here. Frazier, good on the first.
7-point deficit for the Wolverines. Not looking ideal right now.
One more for Frazier. Got it. 93-85. Inbound comes into Jones, brings it across the near side with 12 seconds. Jones, backdoor looking for Brooks. Frazier the steal, that's going to do it. Michigan fought till the end, but ultimately never led, and Illinois escapes Crisler Center with a 93-85 hard-fought, well-earned victory.
Wolverines, they would not go away, but Illinois knew just how to swat them down right when they were getting close.
Devontae Jones led the way for Michigan with a brilliant 25-point 10-assist performance, but it was Kofi Coburn who stole the show. 27 points for Illinois. Alfonso Plummer with 26 as well. And the high-flying Illini rebound from Thursday's loss against Ohio State with a win. For Michigan, it's on to the next one. Tuesday against Michigan State in a makeup game at the Crisler Center. Another opportunity to secure a much-needed win as March rears its head again.
Absolutely. It just stinks this game. The Fighting Illini offense was just way too much. I mean, they got 93 points. Defensively, not Michigan's strongest game.
And so that's going to do it for WCBN Sports' coverage of Michigan basketball on this Sunday matinee. The Illini victorious 93-85. For Ryan Dolson, I'm Jared Greenspan. Thanks as always for listening to us here at WCBN Sports. Good night, and as always, go blue.